you and I have been talking about this for several weeks now, but people are so interested in what is going on with Amy Robach and T.J. Holmes now that they have officially exited GMA3. They confirmed it in a statement saying ABC confirmed it in a statement, saying after several productive conversations with Amy and T.J. about different options, we all agreed it's best for everyone that they move on from ABC. We recognize their talent and commitment over the years and are thankful for their contributions. This, of course, comes after there was photos of them, getting a little handsy, and they're both married to other people, and there was an investigation. So it seems like they are both moving on. So obviously we don't know exactly what happened behind closed doors during this mediation, but what do you think may have happened, hypothetically speaking?
Yeah, well, this is something that we've been suspecting for a while, right? I mean, Disney is the parent company. They're a pretty family-friendly company. They're not going to like this type of conduct, especially when folks are married. And with respect to TJ, I mean, he committed the cardinal sin. I don't care if you're Bill Clinton, the president of the United States, you're not supposed to have sex with the interns. So reportedly, that's what happened. So we fully expected TJ to be gone. Now there's a question of whether Amy remains because her conduct was a little bit different. But I think ultimately, ABC wanted to move on from both of them. Lastly, you wanted any type of scandal for a show like Good Morning America. So I think the network rightfully moved on, and we're going to have some fresh blood hosting the show.
Totally. If this wasn't an amicable, quote unquote split, do you think that the former anchors can take legal action? Do you foresee that happening? Or do you think that their lawyers kind of hashed everything out before this announcement?
There's a couple ways they could have pursued an employment claim. One, if they had an actual employment agreement and it allowed them only fired for cause, for instance, and they could argue that this was a non-cause termination. Now, they would still be terminated, but they maybe would be owed damages, maybe the amount that they would have been paid during the duration of their contract. And, so that would be one remedy, a potential contractual remedy if there was an employment agreement. But there's also potential violations of employment law, but they have to prove that the termination was for some prohibited reason. Now, TJ raised some issues of that maybe this was motivated by race, obviously, if it were, Amy, motivated by gender, national origin, religion, those types of things. But they would have to prove that the termination was for a wrongful reason. Otherwise, most of the time, we're talking about at-will employment, which means the employer can fire the talent and the talent can quit for really any reason or no reason at all, as long as it's not prohibited.
Right. Do you think that they may have had to sign like an NDA on their way out as well to not talk about what kind of went down behind the scenes? I feel like this almost happened with Chris Harrison. If you remember back in the day when he got fired from The Bachelor, I think they gave him like a big payout, probably had to sign an NDA as well. But do you think that maybe something like that could have happened?
I think so. Usually in these types of cases, there's a settlement. The parties don't want to litigate because we know litigation is public. I mean, we've seen it, in all the cases that we've covered here. So there's going to be some sort of settlement agreement. There's going to be some payment, some compromise payment. And in return, that settlement agreement is going to have a couple of important provisions. The first is going to be a confidentiality clause. And the second is going to be a non-disparagement provision. So the parties can't say anything bad about one another. The terms of the settlement are going to be confidential. That allows both parties, the network and the talent, to move on and not say bad things about one another.
Yeah, hopefully everybody can just move on from this one. But something tells me we'll be talking about it for quite some time. For more news, content, and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below and visit usmagazine.com.